Okay, guys, just gotta wait for this to come up here to see if this works. Sorry about the background here, I'm just double checking the stream. Okay, guys, good, we're up and running. So let's talk for a minute, guys. This is, I'll turn this a little bit. This is where all my games are stored on. It's a 1 terabyte SSD. That'll be fixed in the future. But this is the G4560 gaming computer. Let me update the title here. So this has a GTX 1050. A G4560 CPU, 8 gigs of RAM, Seasonic power supply, 275 gig M.2 SSD, Xiaomi Z3 case. Love it a lot, but let's reposition you guys here. Let me straighten this out just a little bit because I know that would bother me if it wasn't relatively straight. Okay, so you guys won't be able to see the whole screen, but we're doing high settings here across the board. So let's make sure everything's good. We want vertical sync off. Okay, so I'm actually going to benchmark this for you guys live, just so you know. I'm horrible at this game. I don't know what I'm doing, but I do have everything running in the background here. So interestingly enough, let's see if we can get a close-up shot of that. 1,771 megahertz core clock. That is insane for a $100 card. Like that, that's just unreal. Very, very, very impressed with that. So you guys are going to see a live benchmark here, actually. I wait till I get to the third part of the game. Let me go ahead and mute my speakers here, so, or at least turn it down. It's actually coming out of my monitor. But let's fire this game up. Let's see kind of frames we produce. I think we're running into a GPU bottleneck with these two computers. So the other computer is let's see here, right there at the blue drive on it. I think it's being bottlenecked. I think the 1050 just isn't that strong. I should have went with the 470, but I didn't have the budget for this particular setup. Oh, real quick, guys. RGB lights all the way through. Pretty excited about that. I'm going to sync that up with the RGB light in the, whatchamacallit, on the board. So that's going to be pretty exciting. So I got those in today. But let's, we'll go through this cutscene. I don't know if it'll let me, nope, won't let me skip. So, oh, I have one viewer. I don't know who that viewer is. I figured I didn't want to stream shadow play because I want to get a realistic idea of what kind of frame rates I can expect. I will give you guys who are watching a little bit of a spoiler alert. I'll show you guys my work right here. Not that anybody didn't see this coming, but these are some of the numbers that I'm looking at here. Pretty much the i5 GTX 960 wins across the board. Again, that should not surprise anybody. That being said, you know, it's more, I think it's more of a GPU bottleneck. I'm going to swap out the 1070 for the 960 and run WoW and Battlefield, I think, one more time, and then see, because those were the two ones where there's a little bit of a variance. The rest of the games, honestly, were within 10%. GTA 5 was 12. Watch Dogs 2 was 15. Battlefield 1 I'm redoing. Valley, Heaven, and Firestrike were all close. For Honor would not run on this computer. Nothing wrong with the computer. Not this one, the other one rather. There's issues with the game itself. So that's kind of disappointing. Why is that doing that? Well, hopefully this doesn't take super duper long to load. So yeah, I'm streaming from my personal rig. In case you guys didn't know. Let me try something here while this is loading. I'm gonna reduce the gain all the way down. I'm gonna listen to this and see if it changes anything. Well, hopefully this doesn't take super duper long to load. So yeah, I'm streaming from my personal rig. In case you guys didn't know. Let me try something here. Sorry guys, I want to see what it sounds like. Reduce the gain all the way down. I'm gonna listen to this and see if it changes anything. Hopefully this doesn't take super long. So yeah, I'm streaming from my personal rig. Nope, not satisfied with that. So I'll turn that back up here. Too low for you guys. Now, I don't know what's taking so long for this game to load here. Is it loading up now? No, it doesn't seem to be loading. I hate when it happens. Probably have to close out the game and redo it. Yeah. This is gonna get my nerves. Okay, so let's bring this up one more time. Let's launch it out. Oh, I got 4 of you guys watching. Only one of them's my fiance, so that's interesting here. So after this, I'll be starting to shoot my video for the head-to-head, but I'll probably keep this live stream going and look at if it's really a GPU bottleneck or not. So I'm convinced ideally this build will be perfect with an R7 470. I think, but we'll find out. To answer the question in the chat, Battlefield 1. So let's go ahead and fire this up one more time here. Alright, let's hope it doesn't freeze this time. That'd be nice. So, future builds. I'll talk about that for a little bit while this is doing its thing. I got a Craigslist build I'm going to be working on. I actually have a graphics card for it already. Picked it up for about $40, $50 on a couple weeks ago. It's an R7 274 gig. I'll be using that. I have an FX 6100 with board and case and cooler for $70. My goal is to keep this total under, say, 300 and just see what kind of deal I can get going here. Oh, hey. Somebody liked my page on Facebook. Interesting. That's probably not a bad thing. Speaking of which, for those of you that haven't liked or subscribed yet, definitely would appreciate anybody that shares the page, shares my Facebook page. Subscribe, definitely huge. And there are ways to support the content that I'm doing. Amazon link in the video description, Kingwin affiliation video description. So, that'll definitely help us out in producing more videos, more builds, more tests, things of that nature. So, ooh, that is not in focus. Either that or the stream's not very high resolution. I apologize if it's not streaming that high of a level here. I'm thinking Battlefield 1 is just not agreeing with me today. It also could probably be because it's not done quote-unquote downloading. So, I don't know what the issue is here. So, if this doesn't want to load, I'll probably fire up World of Warcraft. Just because, might hit more people. More people might be interested. Good old Alt F4. So I'm going to change the name of it to World of Warcraft. Probably could be either. No, I don't want to run it. Okay, well, let's open up WoW. That's a pretty easy to run game here. Nope, not C drive. Let's open up D drive here. Warcraft. Let me get out of Battlefield. Oh, you're being such a pain in the butt. Oh, so I ran into an interesting issue whenever I got this computer first started up. It didn't want to work. And I kept getting some green screen, right? And I thought it was a bad video card. Turns out it was actually a setting on the motherboard. Was not set to PCI Express Gen 3. It's actually set to Gen 1. So, did manage to fix that, thankfully. And I'm pretty sure I just hard locked up this computer. Yay. Gotta love when that happens. So it looks like Battlefield's not going to want to work here. That's fine. Guess I won't be able to retest that. I had vertical sync ran the first time, so that's definitely attributes to the varying frame rate. So I'll get logged into World of Warcraft here. Yeah, I know. No. So it's yelling at me that my D drive's corrupted, which sucks because that is literally where all my games are stored at the moment. So some games do not like to be moved to different drives. In fact, just about any game I know of doesn't. So I'm getting logged into WoW for you guys here. That's my password. There we go. So let's see what kind of frame rates we can get in a dungeon. So let's go and get queued up here. Should be pretty quick. Now I'm using a god. Okay, my macros are still here. I'm using a keyboard I'm not used to using. I'm on a 60 hertz monitor, nothing crazy. But so right now, you guys should be able to see that. I'm in the 40 FPS range right now. So these are my settings. Very simple. I dragged it to 7. Nothing more than that. Vertical sync disabled. That's what I'm running. I didn't tweak any settings. I literally dragged it to 7 and let it go. So the question is this going to offer a playable frame rate? And I mean, I'll be honest. I'll be very surprised if it doesn't. If it doesn't offer, decent frame rate, I almost want to say I'll be a monkey's uncle kind of thing. It should give a game that is really plagued with just a bad engine design with the way that it has to follow exact order of input-output from server inputs to the client side to the rendering in order and then exporting back to the server. Just makes the game just run absolutely horrible. So I would expect that getting into a 5-man environment should be fine. Let's also do some PvP here. Again, you guys are gonna watch me get killed for the second time. So I'm going to do random battleground. We'll go with that. So okay. I'm going to go ahead and let everybody know that I am live. So, okay, Facebook. Okay. And I tell them that I need a minute, and what do? They start without me. Oh well. I'm starting to realize just how GPU bound that this game really is starting to become over time, which is kind of crazy. That's right, I have to do damage to heal. I almost forgot. You know, you really can't get away with, say, like, just rocking an i7 without, you know, decent graphics. I mean, my Ryzen chip was definitely running all over this chip, for example. You know, I'm dipping down into the 30s. Now, I'm pretty sure that once I throw in the GTX 960 that's going to change. So, that's, well, at least that's the hope. At some point. Now, if you go to the old world, you'll definitely get a lot better frame rate in games like this. So, like, for example, Stormwind, anything like that. I'm actually relatively low on mana. Now, I guess I've been really spoiled with just having higher-end computers, but I've noticed that the other system definitely did fare a little bit better. I have no idea. This is a boss, and I've not done this before, so... So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Battlefield back up and running for you guys. I'm not going to stream that, but I'm going to do tests with, you know, the GTX 960 to see, you know, are we running to a GPU bottleneck, or is the extra cores versus hyper threads actually making a huge difference? So that's the million-dollar question. Not that I'm having any trouble playing at this level. I'm curious what the recommended is for this. System, recommended, these settings. Black screen, black screen. Oh god, I hope they don't move on and then I'm not there. That would not be fun. Okay. The recommended settings is 5. There we go. So, interesting. So, jumping it down to 5 just skyrocketed my frame rate. So, that really goes to tell me this is most likely a GPU bottleneck. Which is interesting. Because what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to try to get Battlefield to work, if it wants to work. But what I'm going to end up doing is, like I said, put 960 in here, and I'm going to do another flight path test and see if that makes some major changes or not. So for those of you, this will be 3 or 4 of you guys watching right now. Who's Scarlet Bits? I don't know. I was running 7, and I was really struggling in the frame rate department. I jumped it down to 5, and I literally, I mean, I could probably bump it to 6. That's probably the sweet spot, I would assume. Yeah, my frame rate more than quadrupled. So ideally, I really don't need this high level of FPS because this is only a 60 hertz monitor. So I'm gonna, once I don't let anybody else die, hopefully, I'm gonna go ahead and change this. system. Let's change this to 6. Wow. Okay, so that made... So we're going from 5 to 6. Huge FPS drop. So what changes? A lot of stuff changes, actually. That's probably why. So let's just go to 6 for the heck of it. Because that's probably going to be the sweet spot for this computer. It's going to be 6. So I don't see anybody asking any questions. Feel free to ask some questions. Like I said, I got this running at setting 6 now, and that's definitely making a big difference from 7. I was running in the 30s consistently when I was doing 7, and then 5 I was running well over 100. So it's amazing. Just a couple different tweaks to the settings, and you know, it goes from not really that great frame rates to absolutely spectacular frame rates. That, you know, I could literally whip out my 144 hertz monitor and have a good, enjoyable experience at 5. So, well, it's actually not really good in theory because of the high resolution, but just heal everybody up. Pay attention instead of being bad. Zoom back out. Ooh, whoever that is. Well, it looks like a boss. No, he's not a boss. Health is too low. Hey, my moderators in chat. Not that there's anything really to moderate. Although she should be paying attention. Skull. Just saying. So, no, I can't do a raid. Unfortunately, my level's 823. But what this is really going to come down to is you have $500 to spend. You know, you've watched my videos, you've watched Linus's videos, and Jay's 2 cents, and Austin Evans, and all those guys who do how-to videos, some more than others. And you want to be able to play World of Warcraft. Can you do it? Yes. The tricky part is, you know, first of all, getting Windows is not cheap. You can go through Kingwin. Again, I do an affiliate code for that where you can get software. But there's a lot of people that question it. Is it stolen software? Is it legitimate keys? I've seen, you know, both sides. I don't know what the truth is, but the fact of the matter is I'm trying to keep costs down, but I don't believe in piracy. I don't believe in, you know, just taking stuff for free. The owners do deserve some sort of rights to it. Like I said, I don't have the right information of G2A and Kingwin, because you see stuff on Steam real cheap all the time, and we know that's legitimate. So, but basically, I spent a roughly $470 plus Windows, so right around $500. The only change I would make in this setup would be I would definitely go for an R7 470. You know, I don't have the information yet, but I believe that's the reason why this game's playing on, say, you know, 5 instead of 7 or 8. Why games like Watch Dogs, you know, there was a little bit of discrepancy on performance there. So that's what I believe. I'll find out here shortly. Oh wow, a lot of damage there. How many more bosses are in this place? 2 more. Okay. Do I need that? I do not. Okay. Oh, hey, rocks. hopefully you guys aren't getting too much hum or feedback from anything. So for those of you that watch this live stream after the fact, there's only been about 10 or so people have watched it live. You know, I'm curious what your guys' opinions are. So, you know, definitely drop some information, you know, comments and stuff like that in the description below. And, you know, definitely want to, you know, me and my business partner, we try to, you know, keep up with you guys as much as possible. And we definitely want to interact with you guys, and that's definitely going to be a staple to long-term. And apparently my business partner is playing with the lighting here. That's fun. So I just realized this is off-angled a little bit. Oh, let me bring up the stream here. Sorry. Oops. So, basically conclusion time, and then I'll let you guys go because there's not a lot of people watching anyway. Going back to, you know, is this a good idea? Should you go on Craigslist and just buy a computer from somebody? Can you build your own? What kind of performance you can expect? Well, you'll get that full in-depth information in the video. So I'll give you guys my full results next day or so when the video's up. But what I will say is that you don't need to spend a ton of money on a computer to play games like WoW. In fact, to play any game. You can get away for less than $600 and get perfectly playable frame rates in medium, high settings across the board. That's kind of the gist, and that's kind of what I wanted to prove is that, you know, if you're only shooting for 60 FPS, you don't have a high frame rate monitor, you don't need a ton of oomph to do so. So you don't necessarily need to spend a lot of money on a computer to do that. Now, if you have other things such as video production stuff, that's a whole nother ball game. So anyway, guys, this is Steve from PC Budget Solutions. Before I let somebody die here in a second, I'm going to let you guys go, and I will see you guys later on down the road.